went to see this exhibition called Amazonia twice. It's by Brazilian photographer Sebastião Salgado, who ventured into the Amazon over 9 years and took the most incredible aerial photographs of the Amazon and portrait photography of indigenous peoples living in the Amazon. It's such an incredible look into how humans have lived for the majority of history, and the only reason we still have indigenous people who are living in their old way of life and following their ancient traditions is because the Amazon rainforest served as a protective mechanism against colonizers, against corporations who wanted to go in there and do logging and all sorts of things. I'm so thankful to the Amazon rainforest for being so dangerous that people couldn't go in and absolutely destroy and quote unquote modernize indigenous people living there, because now we have a present day example of humans who are able to live in tandem with nature, in connection with nature, and the mere existence of these people proves that humans inherently are not bad for the earth, but the way that we're living now is completely disconnected from nature. It's simply our lifestyles, our mindsets, our philosophies that are bad for the earth, not anything that's innate within us. This exhibition also showed me how incredible the Amazon rainforest is and how important it is to protect it. It's absolutely huge. One tribe alone, called the Yanomami, lives on a territory the size of England, and there are around 400 tribes in the Amazon, and around a quarter of them are uncontacted. In the modern day, we humans think of ourselves as somehow alien to nature, disconnected from it, and not part of it, which could not be further from the truth. All it takes is one look at our biology to see that not only are we all made up of the same things, hydrogen, carbon, water, all of these elements that are present in everything in nature, but we so deeply depend on nature simply to survive, to breathe, to eat, to have shelter, to do anything we want to do. We rely on the ecosystem being in balance. Currently, we live in a state of disconnection with nature. Our economies, our systems are completely disconnected from the way nature is supposed to be, and so we ourselves don't reap the benefits of being connected with nature. We have to heal our relationship with nature, and not only does that have the potential to heal crises like the climate crisis and all sorts of injustices, but it actually allows us individually to feel better, to learn things, to be more in tune with the ancient forces all around us, and to tap into the ancient wisdom that constantly surrounds us and is almost begging for us to observe and learn from. And what's such a shame is that not only do we mentally live lives that are disconnected from nature, but we don't have nature even present in our cities anymore. Most human beings today live in cities. Even green spaces are few and far between, especially if you live in a neighborhood that is low income. And being in nature, or having even the time to be in nature, is a luxury because capitalism takes up so much of our time. And let's be honest, some people think of nature as boring because you have to actually be still, you have to observe, you have to be patient. And there are so many things constantly vying for our attention nowadays because attention is profitable. Attention can be exploited. But the great thing is that corporations do not own your attention. They want to, they're trying, but actually you are in charge of where you put your attention and how you spend your time. And I promise you, even though it might seem boring, nature is the most fascinating thing, and we're actually built to be fascinated by it. Our bodies are built to be attracted to it. Our eyes respond to the colors, our ears respond to the different sounds that, are not mechanical, are definitely not polluting like all the noise that we're surrounded by in our modern world. Our noses are built to respond to the smell of flowers, which is just so pleasing. And obviously we can touch and taste nature as well. And the same way a piece of fruit is more satisfying or fulfilling or complex than canned fruit or fake fruit or just fake candy, being in nature gives us that mental and emotional fulfillment. For me personally, I've grown up in cities my whole life, and it's only recently, especially through the pandemic, that I sat in nature and was willing and open to learning from nature, and it truly has taught me so much and completely changed my life, and I hope it does the same for you. Obviously, you have to have your own journey, but I'm going to share with you in this video a few things that I've learned that nature has taught me that have been so valuable. And hopefully, once I tell you this, you can go into nature and have a sort of guide on what to look out for, and maybe you'll learn some things too. When I started to spend more time in nature and really open myself up to the lessons and the ancient wisdom that are inherent in nature, I started to see myself as sacred. I started to see myself as part of the whole and feel more connected. And honestly, that was one of the most valuable things that nature gave me, because it allowed me to feel a sense of self-worth that went beyond anything external or anything that another human could give me. It allowed me to see that I am so much more than my thoughts and my emotions, and that there are so many similarities to me and everything else that exists in nature. There are so many similarities to me and a tree, to me and a flower, me and a bird, me and a butterfly. I think that's hard to understand if you haven't experienced it yourself, but a butterfly doesn't doubt its ability to be a butterfly. A butterfly doesn't think, what do all the other butterflies think of me? It just is a butterfly. It just does what it's supposed to do every day. And that is such a sacred lesson that you can apply to your own life, because it allows you to see that who you are, inside and out, is exactly who you are supposed to be. And there's no need to make yourself smaller or try to fit any sort of mold. Whoever you are is in your nature to be. Whatever your body looks like is just part of nature, and in nature, animals or flowers don't doubt their own beauty. They don't doubt what is already in their nature to do or be. So why should you? And that includes comparing yourself to other people. Trees that produce fruit don't look at other trees and think, oh, that tree is already producing some fruit that is the same fruit as mine, so I might as well stop producing my fruit. The more fruit, the better. And different trees, because of their different positions and different types of soil, different types of water, different pollinators, will produce different tasting fruits, even though it's the same fruit. So no matter what it is that you do in life, there's no point in comparing yourself to what other people do or how other people are. You are unique, and even if what you do is the same as someone else or very similar to what someone else is doing, what you are producing is completely unique simply because you are producing it. Our human system really ignores this fact and tries to get everyone to fit a certain mold. There's a beauty standard, there's standardized tests, there's all these things that measure what we do, and if we don't immediately fit the mold of what is considered standard, it's considered weird or not good enough, and then we judge ourselves based on that. And since spending time in nature, I've completely let all of that go. I will never look at my body and think it needs to look a certain way, even though I spent a lot of time thinking about that when I was younger. I suffered with an eating disorder, and they say that you can never truly recover from an eating disorder, but truly the power of nature has helped me recover completely, and I don't really ever feel like I will ever have that problem again, because I feel so much more connected with the natural forces within me. I feel so much more accepting of the natural way that my body wants to be. I trust the wisdom that's in my DNA and the millions of years of evolution that created all the cells in my body. And why would I sit here and suffer through any kind of self-doubt or put myself down in any way when I'm such a complex animal, and I am the result of so many different forces in nature coming together and creating me? Why would I ever berate myself if I'm part of this incredible circle of life. And I know maybe it sounds wishy-washy to some people, but honestly I don't care. Once you understand the sacredness that is inherent in nature, you start to see it in yourself, and it's just impossible to go back. And I truly think that is because being in nature is a sort of meditation. It has meditative qualities. Everything in nature constantly lives in the present. You will never find a tree musing on the past or the future. A tree just does what it's supposed to do and lives in the present moment. And when you're immersed in nature, it forces you to observe what's going on right now, and it brings you back to a time in humanity when we had to focus on the present moment in order to survive. And some of the emotions that we must have felt back then must have been so intense. We must have felt such fear at night. Every rustle, every little noise must have brought up such strong emotions. We must have felt such joy coming across a fruit tree or something that we could eat that could give us sustenance. And those emotions, I think, have gone away for most of us in the modern world. We're not as present anymore. We're reading the news, which is all about the past or the future, or we're on social media, or we're going to work and it's all about what did we do before and what can we do better in the future. All of our human lives and our systems are completely built around not being present. So being in nature, I think, can really bring you back to that almost primal present state and see your life, your modern life, or whatever life you live, from a completely different perspective. Nature can teach you so much about change as well, and accepting change. For me, during the pandemic, I got really comfortable in my daily routine, and when things started to change, I felt some stress. But being in nature really taught me that change is constant. If something stops changing, it dies. It means it's dead. Being open to change and accepting whatever comes with change is such a valuable lesson to take into whatever life you live. Nature does not resist change, so we shouldn't either. There's so much to be learned from nature about abundance, gratitude, and cooperation. In nature, there is always enough, and if there isn't, then the balance must be restored in some other way. And humans are really the first creatures that have managed to completely disrupt the balance of nature, and that's why I think we think of our lives through this lens of such scarcity and refuse to cooperate with each other. If things have been set up in a way where you think everything is scarce, that you must compete with other people for scarce resources, which is what our economic system is based upon, then you're not going to want to cooperate. But that is completely the opposite of how nature functions. Even if you spend a little bit of time in nature, even if you learn a little bit about how nature works, how ecosystems work, you realize how unbalanced the human ecosystem is, economic system is. In nature, waste is repurposed. In nature, anything that's excess is always used or given. For example, with trees, if older trees have excess nutrients, they will give those nutrients to the younger trees. If any of the trees are sick, trees will send out warning signals to other trees and they will all cooperate. So even though it looks like trees, for example, stand on their own, everything is part of an ecosystem. And because everyone is able to cooperate and operate under this system of reciprocity, there is abundance. If humans were able to actually cooperate with each other, stop seeing each other as competition, then we could each see, okay, what do I have in excess and what do other people not have in excess, so what can I give away? That is the whole basis of our system of inequality that we live in now. If we manage to solve inequality, the gross inequality that we live in right now, we could live in such a healthier system and so many more people would be happier. And it seems simple, but really these lessons are in nature. And the human hubris, we've just have all this technology and we think we are separate to nature because we're so disconnected from nature. We think we can make up our own rules, but we can't. We are nature. We have to take whatever nature has taught us and apply it to our human lives, to our human systems, and only then can we be balanced and healthy. I read something the other day by Mickey Kashtan, who I absolutely love. I'll link one of her papers in the description below, about why patriarchy is a thing. She said that patriarchy stems from collective trauma, and when there's collective trauma, scarcity arises as a result. If something catastrophic happens, like a war or a famine, you try to hold on to what little you have to make sure that you can prepare for the next catastrophe. And Mickey Kashtan says that this is why our entire system is based upon scarcity, because we're kind of all traumatized and generationally traumatized, so we want to hold on just in case. But actually there's something so freeing about giving, even when you feel, oh, I don't have enough. And you don't even have to give wealth, you can give time, you can give advice, you can give love, you can give support. Whatever it is that you have in your life that you think another person could benefit from, giving and cooperating and sharing and learning is so valuable, and it gives you more happiness and peace in your own life. There will never be abundance in your life or anyone's life without generosity, because one begets the other. Someone has to start, you know, if the billionaires don't want to start, if the politicians don't want to start, whoever wants to see that change happen needs to start incorporating it into their own lives. And that is only possible if you yourself start to shift your perspective and understand that actually abundance is a law of nature. It simply is. I mean, right now, my arms are going through tons of air, oxygen. It's like all around. There's so much oxygen, and I'm breathing it in and I'm breathing out carbon dioxide, and the trees are breathing in my carbon dioxide, and it's simply everywhere. There's so much water, there's so much fruit and vegetables, there's so much of everything. What is happening now is it's not being used efficiently, it's being hoarded. Hoarding can only be a response to scarcity, to trauma. And now there's so much hoarding going on that it's upset the entire balance of everything. Everything on this planet is in imbalance because this hoarding and this mindset of scarcity has gone so far. And all of it is rooted in this disconnection from nature, this disconnection from the ancient wisdom that is inherent within nature. And indigenous peoples all around the world understand this already. That's why indigenous peoples are protecting most of the biodiversity on the world. Even though they make up so little of the world's population, they understand how important it is to sustain biodiversity, to sustain the abundance and the diversity of nature. They understand how important it is to retain our connection to nature, and not only to our survival, which I think even I'm guilty of alluding to, but this whole video is about the spiritual, emotional, healing powers of nature. Another way I think healing your relationship with nature can be a life-changing thing is if you apply the lessons that you learn in nature to your career. If you work in design, in music, in architecture, math, science, whatever it is that you do, nature has inspiration baked in. In everything from the symmetrical design of flowers and shells and even galaxies, to the way trees deepen their roots and the way they grow upwards and grow extremely tall, to the music of birds, to all the different impossible colors seemingly that are present in nature, to the way that diversity in soil actually strengthens soil. There are so many lessons that can be learned that you can apply to your own career or whatever it is that you do on a daily basis. I make music, obviously I make videos, and for me, learning from nature has really allowed me to let go and to just allow whatever is innate within me to just arise, and for me to create without thinking about it too much, because nature doesn't overthink, so why should I? These are just a few of the lessons that I have learned from being in nature, but the beauty of it is that you will never be done because it is so complex that there's always more to learn. I always find that I'm learning new things every single time I immerse myself in nature and observe animals, observe the way that animals treat each other, observe the way plants grow. The amazing thing is that not only will you learn lessons that you can apply to your life, but actually there's an inherent healing energy within nature. Just looking at a picture of nature for human beings causes certain hormones like serotonin and dopamine to increase. There's even studies that show that it can reduce anxiety and depression. I mean, physiologically, it's just so healthy for us, but I think some of these wider lessons that nature can teach you are sometimes overlooked. So I hope this has inspired you to go out into nature yourself and start exploring all the incredible lessons that it holds for you specifically. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on this and anything you've learned. There's so much that we can share with each other. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.